ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking back hits, Subscribe.
Welcome to my whip. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Toys R Us exclusive Black Panther, Klaw, and Shuri 2-pack. If you're trying to pick these up, you can get them at Toys R Us. I just said Toys R Us a second ago. Anyway, on the side right over here, you can see a nice image of Klaw. Now on the very back, you can see both figures. There's a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. And then on the side, we get Shuri, and then we get this sliver of a window right over there on the very top. And there's not much more on the bottom, so let's get to it and crack these things open. And here's Shuri and Klaw out of the packaging. And I gotta say, I really like this 2-pack a lot. These figures are fun. I had a lot of fun posing them around and taking pictures of them. I especially like actually both of them. I actually think they both came out really good. I do have more gripes though with the Shuri figure for, you know, reasons that you've heard before. And the Klaw figure I really do like a lot. I think it's a huge improvement. But first, let's get a closer look at Shuri, and then we'll get a closer look at Klaw. Boing. So she comes with one weapon, and it's the spear right over here, which we've seen before with the Kraven figure. I do like the gold paint that we're seeing on it. You know, those beads look pretty good. Yeah, nice looking feathers. Wish there was some paint detail in there. Then you can still see the wood grain in the sculpt right over here. It's just a solid dark brown. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a whole ton about Shuri, but here's a figure next to some images I found online of her. She is the half-sister of T'Challa, aka Black Panther, and she has earned the title of Chief of Wakanda. She has the ability to transform into a flock of birds or a large bird, and she can transform her skin into stone skin, and she has some necromancy powers, and she has her Black Panther powers as well. And looking at this figure right over here, I think they actually did a good job with this new head sculpt. I do like it. It looks really good. At first I thought it may have been the White Tiger head sculpt, but it's not. And I really like those silver eyes right there. I think that looks really good. Very pleased with that. I like that. Nice little wrinkles around the eyes too. The ears look pretty good and everything. Then we get this cape right over here. And I did see a lot of images of her with this whole collar piece and without the actual cape. So I heated this up and yanked this apart. If you want to do that, you know, you do that at your own risk because, you know, the glue right there is now gone. So you have to re-glue it if you want to put it back together. I mean, it can hold together somewhat, but if you shake it around, it will come apart. But looking at the paint detail on this, I really like how this looks. You know, these feathers look really good. I'm ducking, or is this fur? It's more like fur, right? Kind of looks like feathers, but yeah, no, I think it's fur. But I really like how we have these multicolored grays mixed in here. I think that looks really nice. And then looking at the cape itself, you know, it's solid purple, no paint detail in this or anything, but nice wrinkles sculpted in there. Fairly soft material. But this whole thing does really hinder the articulation quite a bit. It's not really fun posing the figure around with the cape attached, so that's another reason why I wanted to take this off, and then you can see how she looks with just the collar like this, and I think that actually looks a little better. I dig that. She also has this new gold necklace that I like. Nick contours the upper torso over here very well, so I like that. Looks really good. Nice gold paint on there. And I did try to do a head swap with the Okoye Build-A-Figure because the images I saw online of Shuri without a mask on, she had very short hair, so I thought, oh, maybe I could fit this on here, but it's actually a really, really tight fit. It's not wanting to fit on there too well, so you may have to heat this up or maybe Dremel some of the plastic out, you know, but yeah, it doesn't really want to stay on there too well. But anyway, looking at the rest of the figure, there's not a whole lot of new going on. You can see the nice black stripes right here with a very dark blue, looking pretty good. And you have this clawing hand slash staff holding hand right here, and you have this wide open clawing hand. And then we get this nice belt right here. I guess this was from Rogue, because you can see the X right over there. And then we get some pouches and everything, nice Shuri Nagas. And then we also get Shuri in the movie, which I'm excited about. She gets those Panther face blasters, which I think look awesome. I can't wait for Shuri in the movie. But anyway, going back to these legs right here, then we get some nice wrap deco right over there. So it's just sculpted on there. You can see a little bit of splotch going on. But yeah, and she does have pickles at the bottom of her feet. Now there's no real surprise here for the articulation on this Shuri figure. You can get her to look up very far, which is great, and she will look down very far as well. You get side to side movement over here, and you get some head pivoting, which is great. Shoulders move outward, but there you go, knock over the cape like that. I mean, if this was still glued on here, it would just shift the whole cape off. So you can't lift her shoulders up without this getting ruined over here, which makes me want to remove it completely. You know, it just bothers me. I wish there was maybe like a cut or a hinge or something like that in the back of this so that you can have it still attached to her back, or maybe a peg. I don't know. I don't design the figures. I review the figures. But anyway, removing this because it obviously does hinder the shoulder movement. You can get a 360 over here. Then you get a single jointed elbow, rotates at the elbow, and then we get this really, well, we get a swivel here at the wrist, but we only get side to side movement right here on both sides. What the heck is that, man? Her hands should move up and down. I mean, how is she going to attack people? Just moving her wrist side to side? That's strange, man. I mean, look how weird that would be. Ha! 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 And the figure does have, but anyway, the figure does have a rotation right here at the diaphragm. She does have some diaphragm pivot. She'll crunch forward just that much. I wish she had a really good ab crunch, you know. It's just that much motion forward, and she only has that much motion back. Then she has the hip joints that move outward, and she can kick forward, and she will not kick back. She has an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees that I wish could bend in a little bit more so than that. That's, I don't know. And then you get ankles that move down, and they do move up, and she does have great ankle pivot. And I did notice that on her right ankle, it's a bit gappy over here, but really not the biggest gripe in the world. Then here's Klaw next to some images online. Ulysses Klaw, being a human physicist, turned into solid sound, and he was first introduced in 1966 in a Fantastic Four comic. So he's a Fantastic Four villain, an Avengers villain, a Black Panther villain, a Daredevil villain, amongst many others. He's also considered to be a genius. He has super strength, and then his vibranium sonic device can manipulate sound and create solid sound and sound objects, and he has energy blast projection as well. And then there's different versions of this character, but you know, he's more or less maintained this attire throughout the history of the character's existence with just minor variations. And then here he is next to the first Klaw figure that we'd gotten from Hasbro. Actually, you know, we'd never gotten one from Toy Biz at all, but yeah, man, I think this is a big improvement over here. I do like this newer one a whole lot more, and you could even see, you know, not just the face that has a lot more details over here on the left, but I mean, just looking at the body molds too. You know, this very flat red over here with that Silver Surfer body mold, which I really didn't like. So yeah, I think this is a huge upgrade over here. I really like this a lot, man. And if you wanted to swap the heads, I actually tried doing that, you know, and it doesn't really work out. So this is not really removable over here. So yeah, going back to this guy, I am amazed at what they've done over here with the plastic. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really is for me, because I've been watching how Hasbro's failed at this numerous times in the past, but now I think they've nailed it, where they have this beautiful metallic sheen going throughout the plastic. It looks so good. When I mean failed in the past, is usually we would see a lot of marbleization in the plastic, and it would just kind of look off. And sometimes it wouldn't bother me, but on a figure like this, it would bother me, and I'm not seeing it here, so it makes me very happy. And the fact that he's made out of solid sound, he should have some kind of glisten to him or some kind of effect to him. So it's a very pearlized, glossy look over here. I really dig it. And for the left arm of the figure, we just get a fist over here, and this whole figure is utilizing that Spidey 2099 body mold, except for this part right over here, of course. And then we get his sonic device right here, looking pretty cool. This part right here is just a little bit warped, but you know, it still looks good, and you can articulate this side to side. And he also comes with his blast effect, which I forgot to show off earlier. I meant to do that earlier, but nice pink blast effect. Same thing that we'd seen from Havoc, you know, so same deal over here. Looks pretty cool. I like it. Now when placing it on this piece right here, I try to aim for the two edges to clip around the center right over there. That just looks coolest to me, you know. I think that looks pretty neat. If you have it just right here, it kind of flops around a lot and it gets kind of tricky to manipulate. But if you have, you know, those, you know, if you have those edges just clipping the side of it, that works out best for me anyway. I do like that, and I like how we get this nice metallic look in here as well. Compared to the original version though, I kind of like this in the sense that we get some silver dry brushing over here. I think that looks really good, and it's quite a bit bigger too. So I don't know, pick whichever one you like more, but this doesn't have any articulation. There's no rotation on this at all whatsoever. But I don't know. I think overall this is just a better figure. I'm happy with it. Here's his boxer briefs right over there. Not looking too bad. And then the legs look pretty solid. Not any real paint detail going on, but again, that glossy, metallicized looking paint and plastic looks really good on this figure. Just very well executed. I am thrilled about this. Very happy about it. Can't forget to show off the back. Look at that glistening back. Klaw back. We should be mostly familiar with the articulation on Klaw over here. You can get him looking very far upwards and very far downward. We get side to side-to-side motion. And then we do get head pivot over here as well. He does have the butterfly joint, which looks great. I love that. And then you can move his shoulders outward that much and down pretty far. You get a 360 motion, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and the wrist moves side to side, hinges up and down, and then we get this little bit of rotation, which I showed off earlier. Then he has a good ab crunch that moves forward, moves back, waist swivel, and then we get hips that move outward, and then he will kick you in the face that much, and then not back so much. Upper thigh cut, doubler jointed knees, and then he has calf rotation, ankles move down, they do move up a little bit, and he does have the ankler pivot. Now measuring out these two figures, you can see that the Shuri figure is standing a little over 6 inches tall, as well as the Klaw figure. I think they're actually standing at the same exact height, aren't they? Yeah, looks like it. Then here's Klaw and Shuri next to a couple other female figures. We have White Tiger and the Kate Bishop Hawkeye. So you can see clearly two different head sculpts right over there. While I had mentioned that these two share the same body mold, there are some differences. For instance, the thighs are different right there. So the legs are a bit different. Also, they have a different upper torso over there, and of course, different hands. But a lot of reused parts from the Kate Bishop Hawkeye to make the Shuri figure. And then here's Shuri and Klaw next to the 2009 Klaw figure.
Wrong again, Shartimus. That figure came out in 2012, not 2009. Unsubscribed.
Man, that body mold, I just really don't like that body mold, especially those really thick horizontal lines on the chest right there. That's just really weird. So I think this is a huge step up. And plus the vibranium sonic device right over here just looks way too big, right? It just looks out of proportion. This looks a whole lot better to me. Then we can't show off these two figures without showing them next to the Marvel Legends Black Panther figure, which was a Walmart exclusive. I think this is my favorite Black Panther figure in my collection. I'm just really happy with it. And because I snapped some photos of Klaw fighting Daredevil over here, this is the Amazon exclusive 4-pack Daredevil, and you can see he stands just a little bit taller than both of these figures, and I did get a replacement for that Joel head sculpt if you didn't know already. Then here's both figures next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. So I really like these figures a lot. I mean, that's a fairly dynamic pose over there for Shuri, and I do like the figure a lot more without the back of the cape right over here, or without this whole piece. You know, I just think it's easier to pose her around. I was able to get that left side around her left shoulder, and it would have looked a little bit more wonky and weird having this cape here. It does hinder the articulation. So I do have gripes with these figures, but I do like them a lot, and I did have a lot of fun posing them around and taking pictures of these two, and I hope you guys liked my review. If you did, please hit the like button. Also, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of these two figures. Let me know what you think of my video, and if you want to subscribe for more ShartimusPrime videos, hit that subscribe button, as well as hitting that notification bell to ensure that my videos are popping up in your feed. And I want to give a shout out to Comics Armory. Thanks so much for your support, bro, and he's doing a subscriber giveaway on his YouTube channel, so check that out. Link in the description below. I do subscriber giveaways as well, but at the moment, I am currently doing a giveaway for the Marvel Legends Invincible Iron Man on the Patreon account. So I gotta thank all these people over here for supporting this YouTube channel. If you're interested in the giveaways and the exclusive videos, please check out my Patreon and support this channel down below. Link and information all available for you there. Also, if you want to see a photo gallery of images, there will be images of these figures over at marvelousnews.com, and you can find my photos at ShartimusPrime.net. And don't forget to follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links to everything in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what my people say. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Can't have one, I gotta get them all. Time to make a trip to the local mall. Oh yeah!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face, I said my shot, your face, I said my shot, your face.